So now for the fun part. He like free-handed. Oh, what numbing cream did you use? I didn't. Gorgeous. Like there's... Hi babes, welcome to my channel. My name is Alethea. If you guys are new here, make sure you're subscribing. If you are not, welcome back. As you guys can tell by this title, this is gonna be a tattoo tour. This was something I've been waiting to do and I've been really excited to film. I wish it was summer so I was a little bit more tan, but regardless, I really wanted to get this tattoo tour video out there. I'm really excited to show you guys my entire sleeve and all the little tattoos I have in between. So if you guys are excited for this video, make sure you're liking and subscribing and checking the video chapters down below to see what part of my tattoo I'm talking about next. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm basically just gonna be giving you guys a little tour of what first of all, my entire sleeve looks like, because that is like the biggest section of tattoos on my body, but also some of the little baby ones I have around. I'm gonna talk about the pain level of my tattoos, and hopefully this will be a cool video I can look back on when I have more, because I do foresee that and I have been craving that for the future. I'm just gonna start with some of my first tattoos I've ever got, and I'll talk about them and then I'll also do like a close-up of them as I'm talking about them. The first tattoo I ever got was this Roman numeral. You guys can kind of see it like this. It twists when I go like that, so it's not the best view, but I'll show a close-up. These are Roman numerals for the date that my grandmother passed away, my Nona, my grandmother, and that was my first tattoo. She definitely is blown out and bleeding, as you guys can see. I actually commonly get asked if this is a barcode on my arm, which genuinely is kind of irritating when people ask me that, but I genuinely can't blame them, because you know, when you get a tattoo and someone's heavy-handed, that's just what happens. It's just something you have to kind of risk it for the biscuit when you guys are getting tattoos. This was a pretty painless tattoo. I was 17 when I got this, so in the area that I live in, Missouri, there was a town kind of close to the suburb I've lived in where if you went over to Blue Springs, you could get your own tattoo starting at 17 instead of 18. My ex-boyfriend's brother was a tattoo artist and he did this tattoo. When I first got it, I loved it. I still love it. I don't hate it. It has meaning to me. So even though she's definitely a little, you can tell she's aging a little bit in tattoo years, I still love it. Right above that is this little cursive, kind of fine line-ish. I still love her. I think she's so cute. This says Bella Ama, which means beautiful soul in Italian. If you guys aren't catching a vibe here, I have Italian in my family. So for me, that was a kind of tribute to my grandmother, and it kind of correlated directly to that tattoo. And those were the first two tattoos I've ever had. They were only a few months apart. So this was when I was 17, winter went by, summer came around, I turned 18, and then I got this one on my own. I don't remember how much these cost. I do believe they were 100 or less. And this was also pre-COVID. This was like 2017, 2018 when I was 17 and 18, and tattoos I think were a little bit cheaper than what they would be now. So I did not pay too much for these at all. They were super cheap, super painless as well. These two areas, when you're getting kind of just like little writing and stuff like that, it does not hurt. Now this area, when you're getting like lots of shading work, that's a whole different story, and we'll get into that later. My next tattoo piece I will have to show you guys in a video because it's actually on my back. This was my third tattoo. I will show you guys a picture if I can find it of when she was fresh and I got it. I got this summer going into my freshman year of college, so this was also summer of 2018. I was so excited to get this tattoo. I had this tattoo planned out for years. This is also special to me and my ethnicity and my family. Love that tattoo. It is in Arabic and it says you do this for yourself and no one else. I honestly got the inspiration because one of my favorite tattooers, Tattoo Baby, she either did it on herself or did something in Arabic on somebody else, and it was on a show, and I just thought it was like very feminine and gorgeous. I will never forget when I came in to get that tattoo, the tattoo artist that I got matched up with to do that at this shop literally was like this huge head to toe tatted guy. He looked at me, I was at the time like itty bitty, like 120 pounds, straight out of high school, and I was like, yeah, like I want this huge piece on my spine, and it goes from the top of my neck to the bottom, and I will try to show you guys the best I can in the video just to kind of get the full scope of it without being like completely naked. But I remember he looked at me and was like, spines hurt, like I have tattoos everywhere. And I mean, he had tattoos on his face, like his head was shaved, and he was like, I would never get a tattoo on my spine. And I was like, I'll be good. I'll be good, because that's just always how I've been. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and I'll be honest with you guys, it really didn't hurt that bad. I don't know if it's because I am just so used to whatever my sleeve felt like that to get that on my spine, it like really didn't matter. I don't know, but I just totally was not even worried about it, and it took about an hour to 45 minutes to 2 hours, including stencil time and like checking and making sure it was like as skinny as I wanted, or the font wasn't too fat, it fit within like the whole little dip of my back. Like all those things are really important to me to kind of keep it as feminine and just like complimentary as possible. That definitely took some time as well, but that tattoo genuinely, like on a scale of 1 to 10 was maybe like a 5, if that. I'd say the only part that kind of like makes you sting a little bit is when you get closer up on your neck area, but I was so used to the tattoo being tattooed at that point, like you kind of get in like a flow state of the vibrations from the gun and you don't even notice it. So that tattoo I think was about $150 to $160. Again, this is pre-COVID, so I feel like things were so much cheaper back then, and I definitely didn't really feel that much pain. Like it was done and over with, and I was obsessed with her. The worst thing about a back tattoo is you always have to have someone help you out. So if you guys want me to answer any questions about like tattoo aftercare, I've been doing the same tattooing aftercare since I got this little baby thing to my entire sleeve. But other than that, it was like not a big deal at all, and it was to this day is one of my favorite pieces I have on my body. Before we get into my sleeve, I do have one more little section that I want to talk about, and that is my hand tattoos. So I have a very dainty stars and this little lettering that is super similar to this, and actually was done by the same person who did this lettering right here. He did my hand tattoo. Last time I checked in, he was working at Time Walker Tattoo in West Bottoms, Kansas City. I still recommend him 100%. His name is Haz. I will leave his Instagram down below as well if you guys want to check him out if you're in the KC area. He did all my hand tattoos, and he did exactly what I wanted. I actually just had him like stencil a couple, and then for the most part he like freehanded that. I was cool with it, like go ahead, freehand it, like I'm not mad about it, and he did an awesome job. Everybody always talks about how much hand tattoos fade, and me personally, I got this like 3.5 summers ago, and I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but these are like on there pretty well. Like they don't look like they're fading too bad or anything. I love my hand tattoos. They're so cute and dainty and very Pinterest-esque, if one will say. Perfect. I love my hand tattoos. Okay. So now for the fun part, we're gonna talk about the entirety of my sleeve. So my sleeve, it took me over a year, if not closer to 2. Not because of any reason, it's just tattoos are freaking expensive, especially when you're committing to a sleeve. So for me, getting my sleeve done was a process. I am a teacher on like my, you know, everyday work. I am a high school English teacher. So for me, I had to make sure I was spacing out my payment when I get paid, and there's obviously other bills and things, so it was always like a treat when I got to get a couple pieces in on my sleeve. My sleeve is done by all one person, and I will leave his information down below. His name's Raymond. He is local to the Kansas City, KC metro area. I came to the conclusion that I wanted to get a sleeve, and this is gonna sound silly. So when I went to Seattle a couple falls ago with my best friend Alexa, I was just so obsessed with the American and Japanese traditional tattoos, and I always have been, because if you guys grew up watching Ink Master, you know that there's a couple artists on Ink Master that's like what they're known for. That is their style. They are huge contributors in that style in the tattoo world. So I was always so obsessed with the way that American traditional and Japanese traditional could kind of be blended. When they're separate, it's beautiful. When they're blended, it's beautiful. So that was genuinely my inspiration for my sleeve. I am such a planner, so I basically had picked out all the different kinds of symbols and things like that that I knew I wanted in my sleeve, and how and what they meant in terms of American and Japanese traditional. So when you look at my sleeve, I always feel like one of the first things that you guys will see is my tiger, and I really just loved all the symbolisms behind tigers, not even just in Japanese culture, but just in general. Like there's so many cool things tied to it, symbolism wise, spirituality personality wise. So I wanted to include Miss Tiger front and center. I always kind of get like a feminine vibe from her. I have like boys and girls on my sleeve, but she definitely is front and center and I love her. Right above her is kind of like a lotus inspired flower. And one of my favorite things about the way that Raymond tattooed this flower on me is how he cuffed it around my shoulder. So you guys will notice instead of cutting straight down, it kind of flows with the anatomy of my shoulder. That is not even anything I asked him to do, but he's such an experienced and amazing artist that it was just something that like he did and it is amazing. And I'll just turn around for you guys, even though you'll see it in the video that I'll show you, but it curves all the way around on my shoulder and it just to me makes my arm piece that much more beautiful and feminine. My absolute favorite piece on this as well is my dragon. So again, you guys will see it closer up while I'm talking about it, but my dragon was actually the first piece I got. So when you guys are looking at my arm, like I said, you have my big flower, you have the leaves coming down into my tiger, and then right here on my forearm you guys see my dragon. So my dragon, that's definitely tapping into more of that Japanese traditional style. I just, again, it's the symbolism of that animal. I love it. I think it's so cool. I think it's so feminine and I get kind of boy vibes from my dragon. So like I said, I have boy and girl vibes on my sleeve. I don't know why. They don't have names, but I just feel like my dragon is just like large and in charge down here and I'm obsessed with him. My absolute favorite piece, and I think this is Raymond's favorite piece as well that he did on me, is my crane. Just the way that it feeds into the color and the contrast of my sleeve is my favorite. Like when I'm holding my arm out like this, I'm obsessed and I think I forget how amazing of artwork I have on my arm day to day. And then like I do a video like this and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have this gorgeous thing on me forever and ever and I'm just so obsessed with it. So I have Mr. Crane here, and Crane also has a twin. This one was done before this one, and my crane that is like damn near in my armpit. By the way, that area did not feel good and I did not ever use numbing cream while getting my sleeve. I've actually had that question a couple times. Anytime somebody compliments my sleeve, somebody will ask me like, oh, what numbing cream did you use? I didn't. I don't know why. I'm just crazy. I just think numbing cream like kind of scares me because I don't want it to mess with my skin and then my skin not take the ink in properly. So my crane in my armpit and all the shading around this was probably one of the worst spots ever. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this entire area leading into this back part right here was probably about an 8.5. Like so sensitive. My arm was 3 times the size. It was bleeding, leaking all day. It was disgusting and that was one of the worst parts. Shoulder, not so bad at all. I'd say like a 5 or 6 out of 10. Tiger area right here. This is a pretty like solid spot to get tattooed because it doesn't hurt that bad. I'd say this was like a 4 out of 10 on this pain. But you can see I have lots of filling that connects like my tiger to my other crane. And this whole area right here is super sensitive. So it's kind of in that divot, especially with this dark shading you guys can see that I have here like that. Insane. That one hurt a whole lot. Like I don't even know what to say on a scale of 1 to 10. It was a 10. Like that part right there sucked ass. It did not feel good at all. Then back here, you guys will see I have something really cool that actually doesn't technically follow the trend of what Japanese and traditional tattoos and American traditional tattoos follow or include. This is just kind of my personal moment here. So this is an olive branch and she's got clouds and the waves coming off from the dragon right here. I have my elbow piece. I didn't want to leave my elbow blank. I almost did, but I just felt like that looked silly. And it's like, come on, like you have a whole sleeve. The least you can do is also tattoo your elbow. So you can see this olive branch right here. And my olive branch, it's really symbolic in Italian culture for lots of things, but I just love olives. I know that sounds weird, but again, like it's just something I always had in my house growing up. So I wanted to make sure I included that. The other little animal that we might be missing out on is my snake. Mr. Snake is back here kind of going into the flower. You guys might be able to see him. I'm trying to show you the best I can. Again, I love the symbolism of the animal. It has a lot of cool meaning to it and just like what people lean on snakes, tigers, dragons, cranes for. So it was another kind of play on what does this symbolism mean in this tattoo style. Everything in between on this sleeve is just filler. So it was so funny getting my sleeve done because I would get like huge chunks done of like the animals and people would be like, what do you mean you need to go back for more? I'm like, no, no, no. She needs to be covered. So in traditional fashion of this tattoo style, we did like the waves, and there were times when Raymond had kind of freehanded it, not always, but he would freehand draw on the filling. And I think that's just like a testament to how amazing he is as an artist, because all the filling on my sleeve is gorgeous. Like there is not a moment on here where I feel like it's incomplete. I love the way that it leads down into my arm and my hand area, my wrist area. It just is beautiful. I don't even know how else to describe it other than absolutely gorge. So this is literally the end of my tattoo tour because we went through my sleeve. If you guys have any more questions about my tattoo and aftercare, I would love to do a part 2 on this. I feel like this video is getting a little bit longer than what I anticipated it to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this tattoo tour. Hopefully one day on my YouTube channel I can make a part 2 to this, and it'll just be really cool to look back and see like where I started with my tattoo journey. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it. Let me know in the comments any questions you have of my tattoos, and most importantly, make sure you guys subscribe so that you stick around and can see plenty more videos just like this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.